Hey there, Marvin here. Working our way through Andrew Skirka's The Ultimate Hiker's Gear Guide. This is going to be a short little installment uh, out of the trekking poles chapter. Um, and really, the only reason there's only a couple of reasons why I'm covering this. Number one, I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on trekking poles. Full disclosure, never used them. So this is going to be a first for me. Um, I decided that I was going to go ahead and use trekking poles because they are required for the tent that I bought. And as we talked about in that video, the trade-off is if you use trekking poles for your hiking, they're kind of part of your carried weight or your worn weight as opposed to your carried weight. And therefore, you can not have poles in your shelter, and so you can save some carried weight. Okay, and this is how almost all of this is sort of the default configuration for almost all of the single wall, well, all of the single wall tent shelters that I looked at assumed that you were going to have trekking poles. The second reason is that well over 80% of the people that I viewed carried trekking poles. Um, so I just I don't think that I'm smart enough to. I don't think that I'm smarter than 80% of the people who are hiking the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail or whatever it is. So, and Andrew Skirka recommends them. The two advantages that are cited are better stability. Um, you got 4 points of contact with the ground or three at all times as opposed to one or two. Um, and the second advantage is that you can uh, use your arms to relieve some of the stress and load on your legs if you do it right. And obviously, if your arms are strong enough. The disadvantages are you don't have your hands free. They're tied up with your trekking poles and not available for carrying your water bottle or taking pictures or whatever else it is. So that's kind of the downside. Um, a lot of different options out there. Skirka recommends the Black Diamond carbon cork poles. I tried a pair of carbon poles of the same weight from Z-Packs. When I get them in, I'll see how they do. They're $60. The Black Diamond poles are $190. Couldn't really tell any difference. The other ones that a lot of people recommend are made by Cascade Mountain Tech out of Seattle, Washington. Um, and they're worth checking out. I looked at them. They look great, but didn't seem significantly different than the Z-Packs ones that I ordered. So we'll start with those. So that's the deal on trekking poles. The only other thing I looked at was a trekking staff, which is also a feasible alternative. And if you only need one pole to pitch your shelter, you can carry a staff as opposed to trekking poles. Again, 80% of the people are on poles, so I'm gonna go with the masses on this one until I decide that I want to somehow be unique in this area.